Amazon signaled its ambitions to expand into podcasting with its planned acquisition of Wondery, a startup whose programming includes true crime shows like Dr. Death, Dirty John, and The Shrink Door. The e-commerce giant plans to add Wondery's podcasts to Amazon Music, its streaming audio platform, per an announcement. After adding podcasts to Amazon Music in September, the company plans to work with Wondery to expand its programming by bringing creators, hosts and immersive experiences to more listeners worldwide. The planned acquisition of Wondery comes as streaming audio services and radio broadcasters seek to expand their audiences on mobile devices and smart speakers. Amazon and Wondery didn't disclose the terms of the acquisition, though a person familiar with the matter said the deal valued the podcast startup at about $300 million, The Wall Street Journal reported. Dive Insight: Amazon is joining the land grab for podcast startups by buying Wondery as the audience for on-demand talk programming continues to swell. Amazon has a fast-growing advertising business, and the addition of Wondery to Amazon Music promises to give marketers another way to reach audiences through its various platforms that include ad placements on its e-commerce site, Twitch live streaming network, IMDb video on-demand service and Fire TV devices. Because Amazon is the market leader in smart speakers, the addition of Wondery programming to its podcast lineup can help advertisers to reach those listeners. This deal shows Amazon is taking strides to expand their music and audio services, but how they roll out new programming, subscriber bundles and ad products will be the key to their success. The reported deal value of about $300 million nearly rivals the size of SiriusXM's $325 million purchase of Scripps Stitcher podcasting unit in 2020, and is bigger than Spotify's podcast-related acquisitions. Spotify's purchases include The Ringer, a network focused on sports and culture programming, for as much as $196 million and podcast producer Gimlet Media for a reported $230 million. Spotify's total investments in podcasting and licensing deals for programming are greater than those of rivals. In addition to buying podcast production platform Anchor and narrative-focused podcast studio Parcast, Spotify agreed to carry Joe Rogan's podcast in a deal valued at $100 million in May 2020, and signed multi-year partnerships with Riot Games, Warner Bros. More traditional media companies have boosted their investments in podcasting to extend their audience reach. The New York Times bought the producer of the popular Serial program for $25 million last summer, while iHeartMedia, the biggest owner of radio stations in the U.S., in October announced plans to buy audio tech company Voxnest to expand its podcast operations. Investment in the space comes as 49% of podcast listeners say audio advertising is the best way to reach them, up from 37% of listeners who said the same in 2019, according to a Super Listeners survey.